Hi, I'm Rudy Allersmeyer for Broncho Talk. Today I'm being joined by Randy Brist, Director of Radio TV here at Jefferson High School. Thank you for joining me, Mr. Brist.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.
All right, so you've been teaching radio TV for, this is your 40th year, correct?
40-year total, 34 years here at Jeff High School.
So over your time, what's one of the biggest changes you've seen in the program?
Well, technology has been the biggest change. When I started in 1984, we were playing records on the air. We were only on the air from like 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. and then we actually turned the transmitter off so people listening would have heard static. And that's the way it was until about 1991 when, or actually till 2001, excuse me, when we went automated and we were able to go 24/7. But we went from records to audio carts to CDs and mini discs. And then, of course, now everything's on a computer hard drive.
And what about the television aspect of the class?
I like to tell the story that when I first started, the very first day I walked in, it was the week before school started, I noticed that the video switcher was unplugged. And I shortly found out why it was unplugged. We plugged it in to test it, and it began smoking. So we had first day I had a fire in the control room. But we got that figured out, ended up buying a new switcher. I would guess 80% of television was not operational. And it took us a while to get things up and running in TV.
All right. And how about the students? Has the students' roles in the class changed over the years?
I think that there's a lot more responsibility now than there was then. I came into a program that was established by Bill Fraser, who founded the facility, and it was predominantly a radio class at that point. They did not do a lot of TV in those last few years he was here, and those students were just really happy with sitting in radio for the entire period and not doing anything else. And I came in with lists of projects, and I said we're going to be spending time in TV. And I know that first year some of the seniors were a little probably upset with me because I was changing the way we did things. But as far as the students themselves, they're pretty much, other than hairstyles and clothing, they're the same today. I would say that today you guys got a lot more distractions than they ever did. You know, if you look around it, like during a passing period, most students aren't looking where they're going; they're looking down at their phones. We didn't have those kinds of distractions. Students would come here more like socially to hang out on game nights. And it was not uncommon for me to have to tell students to leave because we had too many people here on a game night. And I know for those of you that have been here on game nights, you probably find that hard to believe.
Yeah.
But it was more of a social event. There's so many more things now going on, so students are much more involved.
Speaking of social events, for the last, I don't know how many years, you've held an annual Lockin here in Radio TV. Yeah. What have been some of your favorite experiences from that over the years? Well,
it's funny you mention it. I have a yearbook from the first year I taught here. It would have been 84, 85. And in that yearbook article, it mentions the lock-in. It wasn't called, I forget what they called it. It wasn't a lock-in, but we were on the air overnight. And I forgot that we did that the very first year. We did not do it every single year after that. We've been doing it now regularly, probably for about 15 or 20 years. Sleep deprivation was a real big thing. And you have to remember, that was back when the station was we were used to signing off at 3 in the afternoon. So staying on the air all night was a big deal. And you know, we've had things like around 1 in the morning we start getting phone calls from Purdue students who probably have come back from some of the bars and ask weird questions. One night we had kids ask, there was a bag of, I think, Cheetos on the table, and they said they had a $20 bet if it was Cheetos or some other snack food. And so they held the bag up to the camera, and it was Cheetos, and then the guys went crazy because somebody won $20. And another one, they said, tell that dude who's sitting at the end of the table, and it was Mr. Graves. They said, tell that dude who's sitting at the end of the table he looks like Wolverine. And so that was kind of funny. But it's, you know, at 3, 4 in the morning, people start getting pretty slap happy.
Yeah, I would imagine. Well, thank you for joining me.
We're done? That was it?
Yeah, this is the end of the thing.
Yeah, you guys are just going for the minimum. All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, thank you. This has been Mr. Brist, Director of Radio TV here at Jefferson High School. I'm Rudy Allersmeyer, and you've been watching Broncho Talk.